Kathy Rennie lives with her husband and 2 children in a 2-bedroom house in Encanto, a house they own. But Kathy wants a bigger house since daughter and son have to share a bedroom. She also wants to move to a new neighborhood. Kathy isn't getting what she wants, at least not now. Her search for an affordable new home ended in frustration.
It was fun at first because it was a new experience, and as it went by and I couldn't find anything, it got more and more frustrating. And then I realized that we just couldn't afford anything that I would want to move into.
Of course, if the Rennies sold the home they live in now, they'd have more money to work with, but they want to hold on to this house. With their combined salaries of about $30,000, they were prepared to make a down payment of $10,000.
We had what we thought was enough to put down, but it was the monthly payments we just couldn't figure into our income. And we both have average jobs, I'd say, and I thought I was middle class until I started to try to buy a house.
One local realtor says that before people begin to look for a home, they should have at least $15,000 to $25,000 for a down payment so that monthly payments will be reasonable. Realtor Diane Grande, though, says a minimum of 10% of the purchase price will do. The biggest problem, she says, in buying a house, aside from high interest rates, is that people expect too much for their money.
I think people have in mind what they think they can afford, and what in reality they can afford is something totally different. And when you think today of spending $100,000 for a home, I think they're anticipating more. And I think there is a level of disappointment. Unfortunately, you just keep out there and keep plugging along until you find everything that fits. And
Greta and Grady Nordine kept plugging away, and they are now living in the house they say is perfect for them. By no means an easy accomplishment.
We looked at 4 homes. One home we liked, we put a bid on the home. The seller would not accept our bid. So there we were out in the street again. We had to go look for another home.
Eventually, with the help of a realtor, they found this one in the Lake Murray area. Things looked good when their offer of $129,000 was accepted by the seller. They had to come up with less than $8,000 for a down payment because they were getting a VA loan. That was the hang-up in their case. The Veterans Administration lost all the paperwork they submitted. The Nordines sent off a second packet of information. Weeks later, they were told that was missing too. At that point, the Nordines were fed up and called Congressman Bill Lowry's office for help.
They called up that day, they got action. By the next day, for some unknown reason, the files were found. And for some unknown reason, we ended up with the approval within 48 hours from the time that our Congressman Bill Lowry started the initial push for it.
But meanwhile, how much time had elapsed?
8 weeks.
8 weeks since you first submitted your papers.
And during that 8-week period, we went from 11% to 11.75 to almost 12.5%.
That meant a difference of about $300 a month in loan payments. Still, on their salary of about $60,000 a year, the Nordines were able to afford monthly payments of about $1,500. All in all, their house hunt took about 7 months. Nancy Belford's salary is somewhere between the Rennies and the Nordines. She's still in the process of looking for her ideal place.
I've looked at, probably 40 places by now, and I have put a couple of bids in on some of them. They were priced at a level that was a little bit higher, but we came in a little lower, and they just didn't accept the offer. They wanted full price for the housing unit. So there are places out there, but again, it's just expensive.
Even with the help of a realtor, Belford spent 6 months in her search, time that's meant money, because interest rates have since gone up to 13.5%.
If I had purchased a place maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I'd be saving about $100, $150 a month in house payment. But today, I have to add that onto what I have to put in each month.
But realtors will tell you there's no quick way to find a house and buy it. There'll probably be offers made and rejected. It all takes time.
Probably a 60-day period, especially if there's a new loan involved. It takes a minimum of 45 to 60 days to even process a loan. It's just a matter of finding the house where the price is right and that the financing fits.
Sound easy? There are probably a lot of frustrated house hunters out there who'll tell you it isn't.
The ratio qualifications, usually on a 3-to-1 basis. Your house payment, and you need 3 times that in salary.
Sound easy? There are probably a lot of frustrated house hunters out there who'll tell you it isn't.
So that's how they determine it, just about. It should be, your guidelines are usually in a 33 to 36% ratio, debt to your payments.